Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Discover a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
This episode is brought to you by United Airlines. When you want to make the most of your vacation, book with United. They're an airline that cares about your travels as much as you do. United is transforming the flying experience with Bluetooth connectivity, screens, power at every seat, and bigger overhead bins to help fit everyone's bag. And with their app, you can skip the bag check line, get live updates, and more. Change the way you fly. Book your next trip today at united.com.
The #1 selling product of its kind with over 20 years of research and innovation. Botox Cosmetic, onabotulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
Hey.
It's Tuesday.
We love a Tuesday.
We do love a Tuesday. I went to school with a kid named Tuesday. I think it's a cute day of the week name.
Tuesday morning was a store. Does it still exist?
Like what kind of store? Like a Francesca's? It's giving me Francesca's.
Was like I think it was part of the TJ Maxx family, maybe. It felt like, I never went into it because those kind of stores. If it felt like TJ Maxx, it is TJ Maxx. Because every time I've been to a store that felt like TJ Maxx, I look it up, subsidiary. But so they, on Tuesday mornings is when they would get their restock of things. And so then that's when the majority of people would go.
I love a straightforward name.
Right.
That's why we have our podcast names are incredibly straightforward.
I have to even look this up and make sure I'm not.
It's also very okay if you made it up because I do that all the time.
Yes, Tuesday morning was the name of it.
I like that. Well, welcome back to See You Next Tuesday, where we're gonna just catch up. We're gonna dish. We're gonna goss. And I wrote some things down to talk about. Do you want me to start, or do you want to start?
You go ahead. Do we have any Bridgerton updates?
We do. So that's in mind.
That's what I've been waiting.
Okay.
It's hard when we make things like content-wise, and then I gotta hold on and not text you about it.
I know. And so I will give a quick rundown for everybody else, because I already gave you a rundown before we started, that I've been doing some amazing outdoor progress, though I can't recommend enough that people should have gloves that are really good, thick work gloves. Because as somebody who got her finger stuck between a 40-pound slab of a thickest, sharp rock and a very sharp, I think it's like one of those big spade shovels, like the pointy ones. And now my finger is bleeding underneath my fingernail. It also happened because my gloves are full of holes. So why am I wearing them? Because I'm literally getting dirt in all of my fingernails, because they're pretty much fingerless Avril Lavigne gloves at this point. But I'm making wonderful progress, and it looks so good. We have been digging out some of the stumps from the trees we got removed, or the branches. I did dig the other day, and I've literally stopped digging here now, and I'm just going to do some maintenance because I can't do this anymore. We found a bone that looked animal-like.
A bone?
Mott's found a bone, and he's like, do you want to see it? And I said, actually, no. I'm going to close my eyes. I don't want to see it at all.
Well, we now know, what I said last week when I said you should be a paleontologist. Now we know that's off the table.
Well, no, because I live here. I'm not doing an excavation as a paleontologist at my own home. Spooky ooky. I will go to like somewhere far away where it's like we're searching for things that are very ancient. I want ancient ruins. I don't want like kind of vintage. And then I keep digging and I like see something that like kind of looks like velvet. And I was like, I'm actually opting out. Mats, you can check that. Because I was like, and he's like, why? Like, that just looks like, is it just like something velvet? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe it's fucking fur. Like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. And then he does a couple more digs and then the smell hits me. And immediately I say, I have to go inside, which I needed a break. And this was also like, my pots was like, thank God, bitch, you need to lay down for a minute. And I was like, fill that hole up. That shit is none of our business. And he was like, you want me to, because like I was digging this big root that I was like, I'm going to get it out, the whole root ball. It's going to be like the whole, and I said, no, it is not fucking worth it.
What if he solved a murder?
So it's definitely not going to be a murder because I don't know that you get persecuted for killing animals. And like,
no, I meant maybe it's not an animal.
No, it's a human with that kind of fur. Okay, well,
you said velvet. It could have been a jacket.
I don't think it was velvet. I think that was my brain trying. It was the mouse effect where I said, "There you go." Like that's it's velvet. But there's a reason why I was like, I'm just gonna like step away. So we buried it, and Mom's like kept wanting to bring it up, and I was like, babe, I know that this is difficult for you, but one of the few blessings of ADHD is these things can be out of sight, out of mind. I need to stop talking about it. So I will actually permanently forget this ever happened. So then we've moved on to like not working on that section anymore. So that was terrifying. And then our oven broke and Mats fixed it.
Did he?
Melissa, he did, except he was not confident. Like I wasn't not confident in him. That he was like, because when you have to like turn, because it's a gas stove. Like, and like technically our burners, our stove was working, our oven wasn't working. So like the burners were working, the oven wasn't. And so I was like, oh, it's not the pilot light. It's the, I think it's like igniter. No, I don't totally remember what it was, but we'd like take apart and do everything. And so then when I think you did it all right. Like, I think this is good. We like turn it on and like we can smell a lot of gas. And so we were just a little concerned, but I was like, like, let's give it a little bit. We might just be like in our heads, like, let's just turn it off and we'll come back to this tonight and we'll see. Cause like, it could just be that like, we're stressed out about this. And he was like, no. I'm like, I think I did it wrong. And so we called a repairman to come to check. And the guy just came and he goes, yeah, you did it right. And we obviously still had to pay him. But I was like, Mats, you did this whole thing right. The guy was like, yeah, crushed it. Like, great job. And it's such a fucking old oven. Like, it's so old that we had to buy a part that pretty much there's only like 2 YouTube videos that show how to replace this part that we needed replaced, because most of these new ovens like have advanced past the need of this specific thing. So, and like how you install them is like totally different. But he crushed it and now our oven works.
Well, I'm glad that you called in backup, because every time I think about Mats doing a repair, do you know what I think of?
His hand?
No, I think of, I'll go back even further than that. When we were recording Don't Blame Me at your townhouse, and that frame fell on your head.
Bitch, I forgot that. I thought you were going to say when he was making bacon shirtless and he got like 2nd-degree burns all over his chest. No, you're right. When the frame fell on my head.
And that was a huge frame. Like, took up half my body. Probably 3/4 of my body.
IKEA.
Yes, it was. It wasn't glass, I don't think.
No.
Yeah. So it was light. But that's what I think of anytime you talk about him doing something, and I get frightened. And
that's valid and fair. He is also so aware of his limitations at this point. Like, we can install curtains together, but I always tell him, I go, if we're not having fun, I'm done. Like, cause my whole thing, I'm like, especially like outdoor work and that stuff. I was like, if you're not enjoying this and you're trying to power through, I am getting dopamine from this. So like, let me out here to play with the mud by myself and like, I will be fine. But the oven one, that was one where I was like, yeah, if you're stressed about it, then your anxiety, it doesn't matter if it's like you did it right or you didn't do it right. Like we will always smell gas. And then like you can even start to phantom smell gas and like start to get really like anxious.
That's what I did last night. I was phantom smelling gas because one of my burners wasn't turning on. So I had turned it off and then did another burner. And then after I was done cooking, I was like, it still smells like gas in here, but it wasn't on.
One of our trash cans, I don't know what it is. Like, we need to do like a deep power wash of it, but like the smell of one of our trash cans when it's empty, not when there's trash in it. So like it's like the, you know, when it gets like gunky in the inside, smells like paint. And so paint can sometimes also kind of smell like gas.
Yeah.
And so I always get so anxious, and Vance will move the trash can. He goes, "Okay, do you smell it now?" And I'm like, "No, you're right. Okay, we're fine." So like, but yeah, he did a great job. I was very proud of him. And we rewarded ourselves by watching Bridgerton. We finished season 1.
Okay. Did you watch the sex episode?
I closed my eyes for most of it. Oh, wait, I have to post. Remind me when this episode comes out to post. I took screenshots of me. I took pictures of me watching that episode.
Yes, please.
And I was going to send them to you, and then I was like, wait, I'll just post them on the Instagram account.
Yeah.
I'll give you some sneak peeks. I was like not okay. I was like, this is fucking, I was just screaming, dying. And we had talked about before and I think we even talked about it like when I wasn't watching it, of being like her, what's it called when men do it when they take their condom off while you're having sex? It's like sneak.
I
Stealth.
didn't know there was. Oh,
right?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's being
stealthing. I think it's.
There's like. Oh yes, yeah. It became against. They passed a law. Yeah. Yes, we talked about this a long time. Yes, that's what it was. Okay. Yeah.
Damn. Look at my brain. Yeah. Certain things I do remember. So she's doing essentially that. But I do have to say, my kind of thought process through all of Bridgerton is when these men who have been ran through, when these men who they're worldly, when they have done all of the sexy things and then they pursue what is only depicted,
delicate little flower,
a fucking teenager. And I go, oh my God.
She's 23.
Yes, but she's depicted as a teenager. Like, her entire demeanor is that, and I'm being generous when I'm saying she's depicted that of a teenager. Like, this girl is like, what's a vagina? And I'm like, it's like she thinks she gets a paper cut every month and it's like bleeding like near her abdomen. Like, it's like she knows nothing. And I'm like, I do kind of think, I'm like, well, unfortunately, this is what happens when you wed someone that you full well know has no knowledge of this.
Yeah.
So, I did think it was a little crazy. It was giving me the same vibes as Zendaya and Zac Efron in The Greatest Showman, where there's like a really big ordeal that has happened, aka him being super racist, and then suddenly there's just like a verse in a song and she's like forgiven him. It did kind of give me that vibe because I felt like I blinked and I missed it. I was like, so you're good now? Like, no, okay, nothing's really changed that much. But yeah, I was really getting through season 1 to get to season 2.
As a podcast network, our first priority has always been audio and the stories we're able to share with you. But at Realm, we also sell some pretty cool merch, and organizing that was made both possible and easy with Shopify. When you think about successful businesses like Aloe or Allbirds or Skims, an often overlooked secret is the business behind the business that makes selling and, for shoppers, buying simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. That's because nobody does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. And the not-so-secret secret that's definitely worth talking about is that Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%. That's more happy customers and way more sales going. If you're hoping to grow your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more, sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
This episode is brought to you by Opill, the first over-the-counter daily birth control pill available in the U.S. Opill is FDA approved, full prescription strength, and estrogen-free. Plus, there's no prescription needed. Finally, the days of needing a prescription for birth control are over. Opill is available online and at most major retailers. Take control of your health and reproductive journey with Opill. Birth control in your control. Use code BIRTHCONTROL for 25% off your first month of Opill at Opill.com.
What's up, everyone? It's Noah Daniels.
Hey, y'all. I'm JJ.
Hey, guys. It's Kat.
And we're your hosts of the Real Hauntings podcast, where we bring on guests who share their first-hand encounter ghost stories and supernatural experiences. Now on to the trailer.
I've been warned to not tell this story, but I think because of the way it ends, it's okay to tell this story, because some people say that with certain entities, to like speak of them or talk about them or in any way like portray them as powerful will attract them to other people. The creepiest thing about it to me is a lot of times it would wait for me to notice it. Like it would just lay its arm out like this, and then I'd be like, where is it? Where is it? And then I'd see it, and then it would just slither back.
For more information on the Real Hauntings, Real Ghost Stories podcast, make sure you check out real.fm to learn more about our podcast and many other amazing podcasts.
Season 2 is my... Oof, I love season 2 so much. But where does the episode fall where Lady Danbury is... Danbury, I don't know. Lady D. When she is... with him, I think, and then we get all the backstory. Where does that episode fall? Or
we get like half the backstory at the
Okay.
We get most of the backstory kind of at the front, and then I think we get like the final couple pieces of it when Daphne goes into his study.
Okay.
And which I do have a question. Why do we put sheets on everything?
What was their sheet on?
Like all of the furniture, because like he died, and they're to protect from dust. And I'm like, okay, but the sheet is dusty, and then the dust flies, and then the dust falls on the furniture again.
People were dying of things that are very common now. They were still pissing in pots at that point. They were free bleeding when they had their period.
No, Melissa, when I figured out that's what they were looking for when they were stripping their sheets, and they were like upset they wouldn't find their period, I was like, you know it's coming, and you're just anticipating just to free bleed it.
Yes. Like, that's
shocked.
why they wore those big ass dresses, so that they could just free bleed down their leg.
I know. And so when she was like freaking out when like she started bleeding, Mats was like, I mean, was she going to do anything differently? And I was like, the only thing they really have depicted like very accurately was like her sitting there watching the opera and going, oh, that was started my period. And like got up. I was like, that's a timeless experience we've all had.
Yes. So like them putting a sheet on something doesn't shake me.
No, it's I am constantly poking things in that, being like, why are you doing that? But I am like loving season 2 so far.
Mm-hmm.
Simone Ashley, where's she from? In my mind, she's American.
No, she's English.
She's English?
I believe.
Oh, she is. You're right.
Yeah, I've heard her talk not on Bridgerton, and she still has a British accent.
Great casting for her. Great casting for her sister. The wardrobe. I also am obsessed with like when the Queen and Lady Danbury, they get to like be girls together. Like I'm obsessed.
You're gonna love Queen Charlotte.
I know. The more I'm watching, I'm like, God, I'm gonna fucking love this show. Like I know I'll watch it after, and like I'm really loving this. I love Jonathan Bailey in it. I think that him pursuing the younger sister is so vile and should be criminal, because I will say the ages that I'm supposed to believe that these people are playing is a little frustrating, because everyone's like, oh my God, Nicola Coughlan is so much older than you expect. I go, no. That is an actress. That is an actress who plays younger. I have zero issue believing that. Did I have a little bit of an issue believing that Eloise was Daphne's younger sister? Yes. Definitely had an issue with that.
I have an issue also with the
other brother,
Colin, being older than Daphne. Like, he feels younger than her because their names are in alphabetical order, if you didn't know. But like, and also Benedict doesn't feel, he feels older than Anthony to me.
Yep, without without a doubt. And so I'm just like, this is just so.
And then when we meet the new, because they do a casting because they're for Francesca, and the new Francesca we have in the new season 3, she looks a lot like the actress that plays Daphne, but she feels older than her. And I'm just like, I know like she is younger than her, like completely younger than her, but she just feels older. She feels more mature than Daphne. Like, I believe that she knows what sex is.
So here's the thing. I'm looking at this show and I'm going, God damn it, if I only was not British, because the whole thing, I'm like, you guys are just really like, whatever. Like, they're wearing Regency gowns. Like, it'll be fine. Like, I wish we had that level of laxness with shows here where it's like, no, this is a little, like, these men are aged. Like, these are adult men, and they're marrying off their baby sisters. And like, and Eloise, like I will say, like Eloise definitely acts young, like Jessie Clark. What's her name? Claudia Jessie, like she's a phenomenal actress. Like she's so like, also she's Mott's favorite character. She plays Eloise.
Oh, okay.
She like really like she's got a good character to work with. So she like acts a lot younger. But the boys, and Mott's, I will say though, he is like up in arms. He's like, if they make her marry a man, he's like, I'm fucking out. Like, I'm out on this show. Like, I will be so livid.
There was a rumor going around that had no binding to it, where people were like, that the author of the book was like, I'll sign this over as long as they stay with their partners. And she came out and was like, I never said that. She said they can marry whoever they want to. It does not need to stick with the book. Yeah.
Mott said he would tolerate it if she married not a man, but he would just prefer in general. He goes, she doesn't want to get married. Like, don't do this to her. Like, let her live her life. Like, he's like, I will be so disappointed.
From what I've read with how the books are written, it's just like she marries a man because it's not because she wants to.
Well,
but they've changed a lot of, like, I've heard the men are all like assholes in the book, and you don't get what we get on screen.
I have been waiting, and now we're finally at this point where I'm like, I'm just waiting. And okay, I take it back. We're not at this point, but we're at like a nearby point where I'm like, I'm just fucking waiting for Miss Bridgerton to suggest that Benedict and Eloise married. Like, she's like getting to the point where I'm just like waiting for her to be like, yeah, fuck it. And I'm like,
Claudia said that she ships them. I think it was her.
I saw that. I was like, okay, not just me. But I was like, this is what she needs. She needs a beard relationship. Like, let her marry a gay. I
need you to get to season 3 so we can have this discussion again.
Okay, I can't wait. I cannot wait. And I just am like, then we finally got to now where they're trying to get Philip. No, that's not the other one. What's the other one's name? The other Featherington sister to marry her cousin. And I literally was like, I have been cringing because I keep telling Mott. So I was like, here's the thing. Like, I understand it's like the Regency era. Like, I understand these things happen. But like, so far we've not seen this happen yet. And I do think you have to kind of like gauge how someone feels about marrying their cousin before you just have like your cousin with like titties out, like trying to seduce you. Like, that's like very jarring. Like, I do think you need to kind of like take a temperature check. Like, how do you feel about cousins fornicating? So I do feel vindicated in the fact that that's finally happening, because I was just waiting. I was like, I'm waiting for someone to be like, this is difficult. Why don't you just marry your fucking cousin? But I'm loving like the little like Penelope Collin like kind of coming up sort of a thing. And I love, what's Simone Ashley's character name? I literally just keep calling her Simone Ashley. Kate. Wonderful, like great little character arc, and like they do a great job of like writing how like she fits into the family like so well, and her sister doesn't necessarily. But that is a child, and Jonathan Bailey, you have to get away from that fucking child.
They're only 2 years apart in real life.
No, the little sister.
Funny. I know. Yeah, like her and Simone Ashley and the little sister. The little sister's 27. Simone Ashley's 29.
That's incredibly hard for me to understand. Like, I literally looked at her like, Jonathan Bailey, get away from her. You're a fully grown man. Like, ew.
She is a fully grown woman.
No, she is. I'm so sorry. Like, it's crazy. Crazy. But it's also like they try and like dress them. You've got like the hardened sister and you've got like, the innocent baby one. So like they really feed into that.
She's such the definition. Kate is such the definition of the firstborn daughter.
Oh, I saw. So you remember you said, you're like, the whole thing I've been wanting you to watch Bridgerton so we can discuss it. And then also I need you to get on Bridgerton TikTok. Well, I've arrived.
Great.
And speaking of, she's the epitome of older sisters. I saved this one TikTok that was giving me a hee hee ha ha. Let's find it. I've saved so fucking many. R.I.P. Violet, you would have loved Rose Toys, aka Miss Bridgerton.
Oh, I saw this one.
Yep. Yeah. R.I.P. Anthony, you would have loved Bee Repellent. So I thought I was a raging cunt because when that happened, and maybe someone else can help me, but I do know people with anaphylactic allergies. And that's not really how it happened. So in my mind, I'm like, is it because it happened in his neck? Is that why?
In his neck, but it also depends on how strong of an allergy you have. Some people, it's just a minor, but some people do die.
No, totally. But rarely is it that you would have never had an instance of being allergic. Because the whole thing is like, he's like confused about how this happened. So very rarely do you have an anaphylactic allergy that causes death that you've had no indication that you've had before. Like it builds up, it gets worse. And especially if you haven't gotten stung in a very long time, like it can be like an overload to your system and like it can be super bad. So like in my mind, I'm like, how did we not know he was allergic to bee? Like why there's a whole flower garden.
This could have been the first. I'm out when I used to be out in my garden. I never got stung by a bee before. It could have just been a first time.
Usually when you get stung for the first time, if you have an anaphylactic shock, you have more than he had about 6 seconds.
Also have vaccines and things that they did not have.
No, I know.
You gotta stop thinking with your modern brain.
Well, I just want to help console Anthony because I'm like, my boy, something else. This was 5 seconds flat. Like there is something else going on. Like his immune system was working on something else. He might have gotten stung like right in a fucking like in a gland or an artery. Like it was something that I was like, this wasn't just a. So like when he's like freaking out because like Kate has a bee on her, I so badly wanted to be like, my boy, there was something else going on besides that bee. Like that was the fastest. That man went down so fast, and I was like, holy shit. So. Yeah, I felt really bad. And I was like, it took me a while to realize what was happening. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like, okay, there's some trauma in this man. And then R.I.P. Kate, you'd have loved eldest sibling core. My favorite R.I.P. Benedict, you'd have loved Calling By Your Name. R.I.P. Colin, you would have loved Epcot. R.I.P. Penelope, you would have loved Messy TikTok. R.I.P. Daphne, you would have loved Colleen Hoover. R.I.P. Simon, you'd have loved vasectomies. I don't know who Francesca is yet. R.I.P. Eloise, you'd have loved Choosing the Bear Over a Man. R.I.P. Lady Danbury, you would have loved Age Gap Romance.
Which like, you don't get two of those yet.
Nope.
You don't get that one. You don't get Colin's one either.
No, but this man gives off Epcot vibes, so like I don't really need to get much of it. But I'm sure there's like a deeper meaning.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I keep telling Mods, I was like, we don't have to like watch it. He was like, no, I don't know why you're under the impression I'm not enjoying this. I was like, oh, you are? And he's like, I am. I think you're maybe enjoying it less than I am because I just get so uncomfortable with the sex.
I keep trying to get my trainer into it because he keeps trying to get me into boxing. And I'm like, I could care less about boxing. I like to box, but that doesn't mean I want to watch boxing. And
he wants you to watch like real boxing?
Yeah.
Tell him I watch Creed all the time.
He was like, did you watch the one I said, did you watch Bridgerton?
Fair question.
And he said, oh, I heard that was out. No, we're not. You watch Bridgerton, I'll watch a fight.
Also, I prefer watching my fights with incredibly hot men. And unfortunately, when you're fighting professionally, you're getting hit a lot. And like, I don't feel comfortable being like, damn, you're so hot. You've gotten so many traumatic brain injuries from this sport, and then I'm paying to be entertained by you actually getting your ass kicked. Like, that's not good. For movies, I can suspend disbelief. I know you have a stunt double.
Right.
I don't feel inappropriate lusting after you while you're being like either incredibly violent or violence is being acted upon you.
Mm-hmm.
And until there's like actual boxing fighters that look like the boxer in Bridgerton or Michael B. Jordan, I'm out.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm not into it.
No, thank you.
Conor McGregor? No, thank you. Yuck. Oh my God, speaking of boxers, I got a bug bite in my ear a couple weeks ago, and Mott's told me it looked like I had cauliflower ear.
Gross.
I know.
When I used to work at that place where I used to tan people, spray tan people, there was one guy that he was so into MMA. Like he was I don't know what you call it, a minor league,
a hobbyist fighter.
Like he would go to Vegas. Like he wasn't a hobby. Like he was training to be a professional. So he did like do
semi-pro.
Fights. Yeah, there we go, semi-pro. So and he had cauliflower. First of all, he was just weird because he was obsessed with fighting, and then would always tell me about all his like love life drama and had like a new girlfriend every 2 weeks. And I was like, I don't care. And he always had cauliflower ear, and then would do the thing where you crack it.
Yeah,
And I was just like, can you please stop? Like, this is disgusting to me. He eventually got fired.
Yeah, inappropriate
because he just gave off a weird vibe.
Yeah, there's only so much that like your body can be resilient against, like getting hit for a living.
Yeah.
It's like not good for anybody.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you love Disney? Then you are going to love our hit podcast, Disney Countdown. I'm Megan, the Magical Millennial.
And I'm the Dapper Danielle.
On every episode of our fun and family-friendly show, we count down our top 10 lists of all things Disney. There is nothing we don't cover.
We are famous for rabbit holes, Disney-themed games, and fun facts you didn't know you needed, but you definitely need in your life. So if you're looking for a healthy dose of Disney magic, check out Disney Countdown wherever you get your podcasts.
Merry Christmas, everybody! My name is Eric Peterson. I'm here with my good buddy,
Danny Jordan.
And we are the hosts of Christmas Countdown Show.
We're so thrilled to be bringing the merriment to you all this holiday season. On Christmas Countdown, we love to count down our top 10 favorite things related to the holiday season. That could be food, movies, music, everything that we all love about this massively merry good time. So wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you click that subscribe button. Eric, are you ready?
I am ready, and we hope that you are too. Merry Christmas, everybody! Let's go!
So that's all I have on my list. What about you?
I've literally been writing so much, and it feels good to like be in this headspace where I can just like get things down on a page and it makes sense. Like where it's not like I have to like think things out too much. I feel very confident in my writing abilities right now.
Fuck yes.
I've been watching, actually this weekend I didn't watch that much TV because I had to read the manuscript that I was reading, but I've been watching a lot of TV this past weekend. Loot is not this past weekend, the weekend before. Loot is still like a great TV show. Hacks, I want you to get back into that because like it's just brilliant. It's a brilliant piece of television.
We'll get back into it.
Yeah, I actually am completely a whole week behind on Grey's Anatomy, which never happens. And tonight's the season finale. So I just feel like TV is just back. Like I just feel like TV's back, movies back. There's a new movie with Michelle Buteau and Alana Glazer that's out, and
yeah, I've been seeing press for that.
Yeah, I haven't seen like them doing
the trailer
a lot
either.
Yeah, like, but I'm just like, I like both of them, so I'll go see it. So I'm looking forward to. I was gonna go see it this weekend, but this week, but I just had too much to do. But like, I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm looking forward to the new Deadpool. I'm just excited about our field of work.
Cinema.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna go see Furiosa. I'm gonna bring my earplugs, and I'm gonna go see Furiosa.
Did not like the other one.
Mott's won't admit it, but this man has seen. I've seen Mad Max through him by him sitting next to me. Like, he used to watch it almost once a week. And he's like, no, I don't. And I was like, no, you literally watch this movie all the time. Like,
Is he watching the full thing or just like clips? Because I know he loves
a clip. No, we were also like, I forget, after watching Bridgerton, he like put something on. I was like, what is this? Like, I just want to watch the first 10 minutes. And I'm like, of a movie? And then he's like, oh, no, we have to watch this other part. Then he pulls up another movie and he goes half an hour in to show me one scene. And I'm like, it is nothing. I was like, he's like, I just wanted to watch it. I was like, okay, you're so fucking odd. No, but he watches all of Mad Max. Like, we had it when we used to have like cable. It was just recorded on like DVR and he would always renew it. And I'm like, oh my God. So we're gonna go
it's just not. Have fun.
It's
just not for me.
It's not for me either. And like, she has less than 30 minutes of, I think she's like very few speaking lines the entire time.
The other one, she didn't speak that much.
No, and it's like a character choice, and it's just always so ironic that it only ever happens to be a character choice with a woman. It's just like super coincidental that it's never a man who's silent. It's always the woman, and there's only so few women in it. But yeah, I do agree that cinema is back. Mm-hmm. Well, no, that's too depressing of a note. We don't need to talk about that on here.
Okay. Well, I think I'm getting into my next food thing.
What is it?
You're going to be like, shut the fuck up, Melissa.
Oh, God. Lobster, turnips.
No. Turnips?
I don't know. I was trying to think of something random.
This is
filet mignon.
Random. I've already been there.
No, so you mean something, you're not back to something. It's a brand new one?
It's a brand new one.
Rack of lamb.
I've already been there.
Okay, give me a category.
Well, if I give you the category, it's just going to tell you what
Sweet or savory?
Can be both.
Fucking hell.
It's not a specific food. It's a process of food.
Sous vide?
No. But you're getting closer.
Braising?
Mm-mm.
Poaching?
Mm-mm.
Deep frying?
Mm-mm.
Grilling?
Nope. Grills scare me.
Well, you know what I think that like we would really thrive with? If we lived like in the suburbs, we had like houses next door to each other with our little fences, and we both had Blackstone grills. I really think we would thrive with that.
Yes, I agree.
Because you can't see the fire, so I'm less scared.
I saw someone. I was on that side of TikTok for a minute.
Me too.
And then I saw somebody having to clean theirs, and I was just like, I'm off now.
That's what caught me off too. And I said, I actually do not want to do this once ever.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, every season you basically have to like recoat the whole thing. I was like, no.
I do know there are people in LA that you can come do it for you though.
Good. Because I was so not into that. Yeah. Okay, so it's a preparation. Mm-hmm. You can't be your creamy because you've already done that, and you've already done your nut milk. You've already done your milking.
Mm-mm.
What the fuck else is there?
Freeze drying.
Shut the fuck. First of all, when you said I was getting closer with sous vide, you were right. Like, because that is as niche as that, and like, I should have guessed freeze drying, but of course you're an Aquarius. You're always going to surprise me. Wait, did you get a dehydrator?
No, but I'm on that side of TikTok.
Oh, good God.
And there's just so much you can do with like fruit and like sauces. And
yeah, as someone close to you, I don't know how many things that are freeze dried that you are going to enjoy.
The fruit thing where they're taking fruit and freeze drying it and then blending it up. And then putting it, like sneaking it into other things, like that seems amazing to me. No,
totally.
That's the main draw.
Only thing I think you would like.
I think I would dehydrate some meat.
For what?
I also was on for a while people that make their own deli meat, and then I saw how much the meat grinders cost, and I said too much.
No, and I don't
because I was really thinking about that. I was really thinking about it for a while, but the process of how you have to cook that meat. It takes all day.
Oh.
Because you have to cook it in a way that, like, you have to, like, put it in a whole bunch of salt. So, like, because, and then it takes, like, all day to cook it very low.
I thought you were just going to get the slicer and you were just going to buy whole honey baked hams. And to be fair, that I would actually support because I love a thinly sliced deli meat.
I do love a thinly sliced deli meat, but they cost, like, $800. And also the fear of losing a limb.
Yeah, the counter space. Okay, so continue on. What else you like that's freeze dried?
That's mainly it. I would do some like jerky, but
you don't like jerky enough to.
I love jerky.
Your jaw can handle that much jerky?
I love jerky.
Can your jaw handle that much jerky?
The thing is, you can make it. I am answering it. You just gotta give me. I'm giving you an essay and not a one-line answer.
Of course.
You can make so much of it and just put it away, and then come back to it over years of time.
This is how you sound, Liz, on something where it's like, this could be used in doomsday prepping.
Exactly.
You know what? Have you even gotten your fucking freezer yet?
No, not yet. I'm thinking of the way I'm going to be redoing my home. Yeah. And like I told you, my current office, I'm going to make this my bedroom. I'm going to make my current bedroom the gym. Mm-hmm. And then the gym my office. But I want to put a Murphy bed in there.
Yeah.
And if like we don't end up going to record somewhere else, then we can just put 2 chairs in there and we'll be fine. Who do you want
sleeping there?
Like when my mom comes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then like friends, I've had like friends come from out of town and they get like a hotel, and I was like, it'd be nice if they just had somewhere to stay.
Okay.
So that's my plan, and then like thinking about how I'm gonna redo areas of the kitchen as well.
You have room for a freezer in there.
Yeah, I have room, but I don't.
And if we
want to
reorganize your laundry room, we could have a freezer in there.
I'm putting because I can't put one in there. There's there's a door that goes outside that I have currently blocked by a rack.
That's the wall. That in my mind, that's a wall. No, that's the door. Yeah, you're right.
That's a door. But I want to get a rack that goes over my washer and dryer, and then I can move that rack out so I can actually like use that door, which I never use that door.
Yeah, that's what right by where your old tomato plant used to be, right?
Yep.
That door.
Yep. So
well, I don't support the freeze drying. I'm just going to be totally honest with you. I do support the freezer chest. I do think you are only a few steps away from sous vide.
I don't like meat in a bag. Like there's something about plastic being
in water?
With meat in water. Like I don't. No. There's this. I don't go to Costco, but for some reason I always get fed Costco TikTok, and there's this new lobster that they have. They have the lobster already cracked and like whole. They do the thing where they cook the lobster whole and just like dissolve. They cook it for so long that the shell just dissolves off of it, so you don't have to like, which is. If you go to like a very high-end seafood restaurant, that's what they do. So then they can just serve you a full lobster without having to cut into it.
Crazy.
I know. And so that's what they've got those full lobsters in bags, and then you sous vide, like they've already got the butter and everything already in the package, and you just take that package and put it in water. And that looks so disgusting to me. And I am a lobster lover. That looks fucking like I saw that and I wanted to vomit.
Yeah, I'll eat sous vide food, but if you tell me it was sous vide, not eating it. Like,
no.
I also do think it is quite literally the funniest scam that someone has ever. Like, people who work in kitchen technology are just hats off to you guys for literally being like, we're going to create a tool that is such a weird, grotesque thing that you also need a thing to like. What's it called? Vacuum seal.
Suck it out.
You have to do all of those things. And then we're actually going to make you cook it in a bath of water. Will it take longer than normal? Exponentially. Yes. And then will it be finished when you do this? No. You will have to finish it on this. It doesn't save. It adds more pots. Like it literally is such a fucking headache. And people aren't really going to know the difference.
There's this man that is making steaks where he sous vides them, then he takes them out the bag and finishes it on the skillet. And I was like,
that's what you have to do.
It only takes 7 minutes to cook a steak.
Now it takes 4.5 hours.
And now the meat is gray. Like, I do not want a steak with gray meat.
I can't come back from it.
No, give me, it needs to be pink. Like, there's no flavor there.
Yep. Motz's godfather is sous videing. He's very into it. He like does his eggs, and like I love to like listen about how like passionate he is about it, but I'm like, you could never catch me cooking in a big pot. It's not. It's messier, it takes longer, you need more tools, it looks gross. Hell no.
No, thank you.
But I'm happy for you in your freeze-dried journey. I don't know how you're going to get there. I think,
we'll see.
You know what I think we need to get into? Excuse me. Gluten-free bread making.
Oh, I'm on that too.
Yeah.
I'm on that too. I saw one that actually looked delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I will do that.
Like, we need to become focaccia girls.
I don't like focaccia though.
But look how pretty it is when people make it.
It is pretty, but I
don't
I don't like the feeling of focaccia in my mouth. Like, there's just something about that texture that I hate.
Hey, well, if it's gluten-free, it's going to be a totally different texture.
That's true. But it looks the same.
It does.
We probably saw the same video.
Same thing.
It looked the same, and I was like, I don't. Mm-mm.
Or a gluten-free sourdough. If they made a gluten-free Dutch crunch, I would die. I
also saw someone making fried gluten-free donuts that actually look legit, because it's been bad. Like, all
Yeasty?
the gluten-free donuts, all the gluten-free donuts that you can buy around here, they're all cake donuts. I want a fried glazed donut.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to eat a donut, I want a fried glazed
donut.
one.
I don't want you to pack a muffin into the shape of a donut and then tell me it's a donut. I'm like, that's not a donut. That's just a circle.
Right. So that looked good. I will probably be making that within the next couple, when I'm waiting on notes after my first draft. I'll probably make that to see how it goes.
Well, let me know.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll just come get some.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to be able to eat all of them, so.
And that's the thing with donuts. You've committed and you're sweating in the kitchen. You've got like a stack of 40 of them and you're like, someone's got to eat these quick.
Mm-hmm.
I could go for that. And a little apple fritter. I think I'll make banana bread maybe this weekend.
I have been saving 3 bananas that have just been, the man that got me the groceries last time got green bananas. So I've just been sitting, waiting for them. I know you can put it in the oven, but...
No, so much effort.
Yeah, I can just wait. But I'm also going to make banana bread for my sweet treat for next week.
Oh, fun. Remind me when you do it, so hopefully I'll remember to do it too.
Okay, I'll probably do it Saturday. I know you can't have oats, but is it that you can't have just like I know that like regular oatmeal, even though it doesn't have gluten, there still can be traces of gluten.
It's
but
just
like,
your body doesn't. For some people, if you're super sensitive, your body just thinks that oats are gluten.
But the ones that Bob makes that are specifically gluten free, can you do those?
Mm-mm.
No,
because it's just like, it's kind of like quinoa. So like quinoa doesn't work well in my system, and it's technically gluten free. And some people can have it, but like
I can't do quinoa.
Yeah,
but I
sometimes
can
your
do
body
the
can't tell the
oats.
difference between it, and so it just can't tell that it's not gluten, and so my body.
I was just wondering, but I
saw
really
this. Trust Bob.
Yeah, I do. R.I.P. A real one. We lost him this year, I believe.
King.
But I'm gonna do a crumb crust with oats on it.
Ooh, tasty. I usually just do like gluten-free flour. And then I'm not a big nut person in baked goods, but for that I'll add like crushed walnuts because they add that kind of crunchy. My phone was listening to me. I literally just accidentally pulled up Reddit because I just like unlocked my phone and it was already there. Guess what it's on? Sous vide.
Yuck,
Melissa.
That looks so disgusting.
I was on Reddit before we were recording the podcast, and then it popped up to this when I unlocked my phone.
Explain what we're looking at.
What we're looking at is the sous vide subreddit, and it has two. And to be fair, thank God it's fucking steak, because I'm much better at looking at steak raw than pretty much any other meats. It is raw steak with a very unsightly pat of butter, and then a large spring of thyme. Vacuum sealed in these two things that looks like you should be able to buy it off the shelf in Costco. And they're about to dip it in some water. And then we have a picture of it in the water, gray meat in a bath. And I really hate when we use the word bath for cooking things, because I take baths. Not really because I don't like baths, because I don't like sitting in my own filth. But like, I need us to have different words. Like, I think sinewy is a great word because we're not using it to describe humans. Yeah, we're using it to describe the food that we're eating. But if someone's like, the skin, I go, actually, no, I'm not cool with that, because I also have skin. So, no. I'm sure PETA could unpack that, but...
They have enough to do.
PETA stays busy.
Yeah. They probably just got an alert that we said their name and
No,
they're
PETA,
coming for
PETA
us.
has a Google alert the same way I have one for Giancarlo.
Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you all for listening. To see you next Tuesday. Tune in on Thursday for Bet Am I Wrong, Friday for Fisting Friday, Monday for Don't Blame Me, and then we'll be right back here for See You Next Tuesday, and we shall see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Welcome to the small town of Chinook, where faith runs deep and secrets run deeper. In this new thriller, religion and crime collide when a gruesome murder rocks the isolated Montana community. Everyone is quick to point their fingers at a drug-addicted teenager, but local deputy Ruth Vogel isn't convinced. She suspects connections to a powerful religious group. Enter federal agent V.B. Laureau, who has been investigating a local church for possible criminal activity. The pair form an unlikely partnership to catch the killer, unearthing secrets that leave Ruth torn between her duty to the law, her religious convictions, and her very own family. But something more sinister than murder is afoot, and someone is watching Ruth. Chinook, starring Kelly Marie Tran and Sanaa Lathan. Listen to Chinook wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, a co-founder of the Go Kid Go Network. At Go Kid Go, putting kids first is at the heart of every show that we produce. That's why we're so excited to introduce a brand new show to our network called The Search for the Silver Lining, a fantasy adventure series about a spirited young girl named Isla who time travels to the mythical land of Camelot. During her journey, Isla meets new friends, including King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table, and learns valuable life lessons with every quest, sword fight, and dragon ride. Positive and uplifting stories remind us all about the importance of kindness, friendship, honesty, and positivity. Join me and an all-star cast of actors including Liam Neeson, Emily Blunt, Kristen Bell, Chris Hemsworth, among many others, in welcoming the Search for the Silver Lining podcast to the Go Kid Go Network by listening today. Look for the Search for the Silver Lining on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, are you ready for some real talk and some fantastic laughs? Join me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa DeMonts, for Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong?
We're serving up 4 hilarious shows every week designed to entertain and engage and, possibly enrage you.
In Don't Blame Me, we dive deep into listeners' questions, offering advice that's funny, relatable, and real.
Whether you're dealing with relationship drama or you just need a friend's perspective, we've got you.
Then switch gears with But Am I Wrong, which is for listeners who didn't take our advice and want to know if they are the villains in the situation.
Plus, we share our hot takes on current events and present situations that we might even be wrong in our lives. Spoiler alert, we are actually quite literally never wrong.
But wait, there's more. Check out See You Next Tuesday, where we reveal the juicy results from our listener polls from But Am I Wrong?
And don't miss Fisting Friday, where we catch up, chat about pop culture, TV, and movies. It's the perfect way to kick off your weekend.
So if you're looking for a podcast that feels like a chat with your besties, listen to Don't Blame Me, But Am I Wrong on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.